name's Kailee Fisher from the Ripley Dual Credit Multimedia team. Today, I'm here with the owners of the Majestic Showboat, Joe and Cortnee Brumley. How are you guys doing today?
Good.
Good. So what is the Majestic Showboat?
So the Showboat Majestic is the last remaining floating theater in the United States. It has been deemed a National Historical Landmark by the Department of the Interior, and it is also on the Register of Historical Places. The significance of this boat is that there are no other boats on land or still in the water. So we have something special here, and we're trying to bring it back to life. And the Showboat Majestic is essentially a barge. It always has been. It was always pushed by another boat. So you see the other stern wheeler out here. That mimics very much the same size of the original pusher boat, the Attaboy, which was a stern wheeler. And a family lived aboard this boat, and they traveled up and down the Ohio River and all its tributaries to perform, much like the circus coming to town. So
that's awesome. So there's a lot of history behind it.
Yes, built in 1923 in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and it has been up and down this area literally for almost 100 years now. So we're at the 96-year mark. So
that's awesome.
Very close.
What was your motivation to buy the boat?
Years ago, my wife and I bought the stern wheeler that's actually, I think we have it parked behind the Majestic now. We bought the pusher stern wheeler in hopes to bring it to Adams County. I'm sure you're all familiar with the Twin Islands. So there are islands in the middle of the river just a few miles east of this location. And our plan was to offer wine tasting tours, not necessarily dinner cruises, but hors d'oeuvres and appetizers, and go on a nice evening cruise around the islands, maybe even shuttle people back and forth to the islands. So that was our logic in buying that boat. And what it all came down to was, to have a boat that size on the water, you need a sturdy dock. So I've been on the lookout for a barge or some type of floating spud dock for a long time. And a friend of ours, Liz Lafferty, sent us a message, and she said, the Showboat Majestic is for sale. It's a barge. And I get on a government liquidation website, and there it is, and had no idea. And I've seen this boat hundreds of times, had no idea what this was, had no idea it was a theater, had no idea it was this old, no idea the significance, the history, the fact that it is a national landmark. Didn't know any of that, because how could somebody buy a national landmark? So after going down and viewing the boat, I realized it was bigger than what we had originally planned as far as doing riverboat excursions, and that not only would this help more our boat, but it also creates a venue and something that our county lacks, and that's live theater. We do not have a theater in Adams County, and we're proud that it's here now, and we're going to use it to not only have concerts and school productions and any type of live theater, but also open it up to mixed use as far as open mic night, comedy club kind of thing. I mean, it's really here for anyone that wants to use it.
It's a very beautiful boat, and it sounds like you got big plans for it.
We do, and it's a lot, and it's baby steps, but the infrastructure is now in place. We have all of our permits completed, and we have power coming on tomorrow, so we're excited about that. We'll get some heat on. The last show we had a couple weeks ago, shows, we didn't have our big furnace running, so we installed a new furnace yesterday, and now we get to juice that thing up and turn it on tomorrow. That way our guests aren't sitting in a 50, 60 degree showboat like we are right now.
So will this boat stay here, or will it travel?
Yes, so this boat has obviously transplanted from the city of Cincinnati to here, so it's still capable of plying the waters, but it is a permanently moored vessel, meaning that it is attached to the bank and it receives all its utilities from the bank. So it will stay in this location unless we find another area close by that suits it better. We're having some logistical issues with parking, and we do have a lot leased next door that we're going to gravel with hopes to making that the parking lot for the Showboat. But if all goes well, it will stay here where it is, but if not, it will be somewhere close. I originally wanted it to be at the winery, and obviously with the tragedy of losing the winery to a fire this past summer, we kind of just had to sit tight where we are.
So your first show is next Saturday,
This
the 14th?
coming Saturday.
This
Yes,
coming Saturday?
This coming.
What's the show going to be about?
Honey, you
There
want to tell them
is
about that?
the Adams County Adams County Arts Council is putting on a children's production called One Toy for Christmas. So they will be here, and then West Union Performing Arts, their steel drum band will be here as well. So just some type of a variety show, more or less something Christmassy. We really just wanted to give everybody the option to come and see. It's been here since April, and so many questions are coming, and so many people are wondering what it is and how, and so we really just wanted to open that up for Christmas for everyone.
Well, that's awesome. How much are tickets to the show?
$10 for adults, $7 for students, and you can get those by calling Mosier's Furniture and reserving those.
Will there be food during the shows? Like, can you buy?
Concessions,
Concessions?
popcorn, drinks, candy, things that you would get at a movie theater.
That's awesome. What are some dates of other shows?
Well, we do not have a compiled roster of events, mostly because we had a lot of unknowns. We have a lot of folks in the entertainment industry and some musicians that would like to come perform that can fill a 219-seat venue. So that can be worked out with a few phone calls, but because of the lack of power, we have not committed to any shows after this one. But AEP says that the power's coming on tomorrow, so we're looking forward to it. And if that goes well, we will start compiling our roster for the upcoming season.
Our
and
board is working on that for the coming year, so we do have a board.
We will definitely keep that posted on
Yes,
social media
yes.
as well.
So what are your future plans for the boat?
So future plans for the boat, obviously we still have a lot of renovation to do. We're trying to keep the renovations as period correct as possible. Actually, the museum that's upstairs was the living quarters for the Reynolds family. So a little bit more on the backstory of the boat. Captain Thomas Jefferson Reynolds, when he was a young boy, he saw a showboat, and he wanted one, and he thought, what a life, I could go out on the waters, navigate the waters with my showboat, travel from town to town, take my whole family with me. So this wasn't just a venue that was pushed by different merchant mariners. This was actually one guy, his entire family, living aboard. Children were born on this boat. Their whole life was on this boat. In fact, he didn't live on dry land until he was in his 60s. So he built this boat by hand himself and a few of his family members, and it stood the test of time, and we want to pay homage to Captain Reynolds by restoring the boat in such a way where we take it back to what it was when the family lived aboard. So over the years, different things have happened on the boat with different production companies, and the upstairs has been turned into an office and different things, and dressing rooms have been rearranged into prop rooms and things like that. We're going to take it back to 1923. So we are currently renovating the front back into the apartment that it was, and then we will do the same thing with the dressing rooms in the back. And obviously in the modern age we need to accommodate for all, so we are going to make some renovations that will appeal to the accessibility for the masses. So those are our long-term plans, but in the short term we're going to replace some rotted boards and keep having shows and get some butts in these seats so people can see, this is the real deal. This is the last remaining floating theater, and it's a huge part of not only the Ohio River culture, but the whole Ohio Valley and all the tributaries from Pennsylvania all the way down to Cairo, Illinois.
It's a very beautiful boat, and I think it's a great thing what you guys are doing
I
for
appreciate
Adams
that.
County. It gives people something to do.
Yeah, it's definitely one of the things that we noticed as a family. If we want to go out and take the kids to dinner, or we want to, do something entertaining for the evening, we have to drive an hour and a half. So we would love this to be a place where there are shows on a regular basis on the weekends, where it's a family-friendly environment where people can take their family and maybe relive the past for an hour or two and do something you normally wouldn't get to do
Yeah.
in a small town.
Yeah, I think it'll be a great experience. Is there anything else you'd like to add about the boat?
I would like to add that we are hoping to do the riverboat excursions on the other boat for this upcoming season. I'm working on getting my captain's license right now. I'm about halfway through it, and I'm going to finish my testing next week. And that seems to be the million-dollar question: can we take a boat ride? And we love the water, and we know how it is. People come down, they get on a boat, they get down here on the water, and they get the fever for it, and they want to take that boat excursion. So to answer those questions about taking a boat ride, as long as we are legal, I'm looking sometime in April when it starts to warm up. We would love to have our Coast Guard or COI for that boat to take passengers for hire and start doing riverboat excursions. And so that boat will be available for private parties, weddings, just sightseeing cruises. We'll do some themed cruises, as well as just birthday parties and things that you would typically do on a riverboat. So
Well, that's awesome. A lot of stuff to do.
yes, it's a full-time job.
Yeah. Well, thank you for talking with me today.
Thank you.
And I hope you guys have a good first show on Saturday.
Thank you.
Well, thank you so much. We appreciate you guys coming out.